So for our next portion of the service, we're going to be treated to the reading of 5 poems, each of which explores a different aspect of joy. And our readers will read 3 of the poems, and then there'll be a short musical interlude by Susan, and then followed by the last 2 poems. And after that, I will come out into the congregation and offer the microphone for anyone sitting here who would like to offer their own reflection of joy, how joy visits them, what it means to them, whatever you want to share. So, first reader.
Our first reading by Donna Ashworth reminds us to be a good host to joy. When you finally realize joy is less fireworks, more firefly, less orchestra, more birdsong, she will come back much more often. For joy will not fight with the fast pace of this life. She is not in the shiny or the new. She breathes in the basic, simmers in the simple, and dances in the daily to and fro. Joy has been beckoning you for many a year, my friend. You were just too busy doing to see. The very next time joy wraps her quiet warmth around you as the garden embraces your weary body in its wildness, tip her a nod. She doesn't stay long, but if you are a gracious host, joy comes back.
Our second reading by Scott Taylor reminds us of how contagious joy is. Joy doesn't simply arise, it flies, it flings. No, it is flung. It is passed, it is spread between you and me, between the one who just received a gift and the one that has been looking for it for oh so long. It's a beautiful and elegant contagion over which we have more control than we know. If only we share it. If only we notice that joy is not ours to keep, but ours to pass on. So let's light up the world, friends. Joy blesses us with its exuberance so that we may make that blessing grow.
Our third reading by Maria Popova reminds us of joy as a bulwark of resistance to despair. In this world, heavy with robust reasons for despair, joy is a stubborn courage we must not surrender, a fulcrum of personal power we must not yield to cynicism, blame, or any other form of helplessness. And when the war within rages, as it does in every life, the practice of joy becomes our mightiest frontier of resistance.
Our fourth reading by James Cruz reminds us to cultivate joy as a spiritual practice. Benedictine monk Brother David Steindl-Rast has famously said, "Joy is the happiness that doesn't depend on what happens." In other words, the happiness of having things go our way or finding all our desires fulfilled can never match the sustained power of a truer, deeper joy. Yet we often forget the smaller joys we cultivate each day remain more sustainable over a lifetime and are available even as we struggle through a difficult time, even as our world reckons with tragedy and war. Sharon Corcoran describes these daily visitations as moments of joy so small they barely register, unless we prioritize them. When we cultivate joy in our daily lives, a form of grace rains down on us from such seemingly ordinary pleasures.
Our fifth reading by Margaret Renkel reminds us of the resilience we may find in joy. We are creatures built for joy. At the very saddest funerals, we can hear a funny story about our lost beloved, and God help us, we laugh. We can stagger out of an appointment where someone in a white coat has just given us unbearable news and still smile at the baby in the checkout line, clapping their chubby little hands at the balloons by the cash register, or kicking their feet with joy at a stranger's smile.